Head scratcher morning. Sorry to scratch my throat first thing on the video. So, this is just food for thought. Within it are some head scratching questions, but it's food for thought for anyone that may still be in Reformed theology or at a Calvinist church or, that follows the systematic teaching of Tulip. On the screen are scriptures that go along with being deceived or who's deceiving and those kinds of things. I'm going to try to go fast. I'm just going to ask a whole bunch of questions that are food for thought, both for people that believe in free will and that follow the Tulip system. So remember, God has revealed scripture. It's his word. John 1:14, John 1:1, John 1:2. The word became flesh, and then his words were recorded for us. So it's God's revealed scripture. In that, if he's revealed it, we know that he wants glory for it. He wants humans to understand it and live by it. So my questions or my head scratchers or my food for thought starts here. Do we as humans want to trust people who candy coat what they really believe? Do we want to follow and believe those who trickily, kind of mask or hide what they believe as absolute, irrefutable truth? Do we want to trust people easily that seem to teach two different things or teach contradictions, and then they never address those contradictions and tell us about them? They just expect us to believe they are both true. Do we want, head scratching? Do we want to believe people that are promoting an inconsistent, paradigm, scheme, teaching? And of course, I'm talking about Christians and pastors, and whether you believe that's from the free will side or the Tulip people. By the way, scripture in the background. I'll scroll up a little bit if you ever want to read that. Do we trust the one that just twists the truth a little, or twists what they believe, or changes the wording of what they believe, fully believe, to make it sound better? Do we trust those who ignore or skip over parts of scripture because, well, I don't know why they would do that? Do we trust the people that purposely ignore reality that we're hearing, seeing, and feeling? Do we trust those who only tell half the truth? Do we really want to buy in fully, wholly, and completely to anyone who's pushing aside, sweeping under the rug truth? Now, I'm wondering if this happens in churches, and again, any church. Are there churches that are having a good run, 2 years of steady income, steady learning, but maybe those large churches actually believe Tulip or something, and they sugarcoat it, they mask it? If the pastor fully understands and believes that the Reformed theology is 100% true, but they know that it's a hard pill to swallow, so they start gently explaining it, not explaining it all the way to its root. They don't want to damage the church or lose people in the church. Now, do we want to trust those people? If they don't want to, interrupt the harmony of the church, but they don't tell the truth or what they really think the Bible is teaching in full, no masks, no hidden agendas, do we want to believe those people? Why would they do that? Now, are they ashamed of their God? Are they ashamed of the gospel? If they're doing that, is that false teaching? Is that idolatry? Is that, what might they be doing that for? Is it the money? Is it for the popularity? Is it so everyone doesn't walk out of church hating the pastor? Why would pastors do that? So what if they teach this hard truth or they mask this hard truth? Well, I really believe that everything's been predetermined and decreed. So when you make a choice today, yeah, you're going to make a choice, but really your wanter or your will has been so predisposed, pre-decreed, and predetermined that the choice you're making isn't really your choice. You're going to be choosing outside of probably what your real will is. Now, nobody wants to hear that or believe that. And some pastors are actually teaching that. So do we, food for thought, want to believe those people? Again, scripture that talks about being deceived, who's deceived. Do we want people that ignore what they really truly believe the Bible teaches, God's character? Well, I think they impugn God's character by not telling the truth or hiding it or being ashamed of it. I believe that they're, on the verge of not sharing the gospel. Now, some examples, Wes Huff. This is just one name I got off the YouTube. I don't know anything about Wes Huff. I'm not bad-mouthing him. But here's what I heard on YouTube. Many people said, I didn't even know Wes Huff was a Calvinist or believed the Reformed theology because of how he words everything, just like someone who believes in free will. But if he really believes that you've been predetermined to either be saved or doomed from the womb and hellbound, how could anyone mistake Wes Huff? Why would Wes Huff do that? That's just one. I know that Voddie Baucham may do that. I know John MacArthur for a fact has done that. I've heard Justin Peters do it. I've heard Todd Friel do it. I don't know much about Kirk Cameron. Paul Washer, Steve Lawson. Steve Lawson, he didn't hold back. He just didn't persevere like we thought he would, right? I believe he just made a mistake. Anyway, there's a whole bunch more names on that list, current popular people that do some of these things. They seem to mask over on certain days or candy coat. And I'm just wondering, food for thought, if these are really the people we should be believing and trusting, especially since that's what Satan did. That's what he did in the garden. He gave you partial truths, 50% of the truth. That's what he does in Psalm 90 or 92. That's what he does in Matthew 4, Satan. So head scratchers abound. This one is just food for thought.